pitching magic. Yes? You're ready?
Yes.
You're ready to become more convincing?
Yes.
You're ready to rock the WF stage even more by going out here today with a perfect pitch?
Yes.
Do this over the next couple of days?
Yeah.
Great. So, this is the most powerful topic, right? The pitch perfect. How to follow your passion and nail the perfect pitch that you can apply right away the moment you step out of this door. Promised. So the first speaker today is Katarzyna Joanna Sperzinska, and I still need to practice her name. It's a beautiful name. And she is really going to start and kick it off with talking about how to bring passion into your pitch, how to speak from your passion. Can we all give her a great, amazing applause? I feel that we are here at the WEF, right? And as they say, what you do somewhere, you do everywhere. And how you do something, you do everything. So please give her a raving applause because this is applause you will have if you are standing here. Okay? Yay!
Give a round of applause to Monique as well. Thank you for such a great introduction. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much that today, on this hour, you chose this room. Thank you for that. You know, it's quite extraordinary being the opera singer, the international actress, and all of those things, and now standing here in front of you, I'm a bit stressed. What's wrong? But my friend today talked about looping, so I just allowed myself to say it out loud and I'm feeling better. If you allow me, I'm not really, I wouldn't like to just make it as a talk. I would like to interact with you. So if you are okay with that, if you're okay with me asking questions.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Do I have your permission?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so let me ask you the first question, because our subject is pitch perfect, following your passion and nailing a perfect pitch. Who of you now can raise your hand nice and high because they actually follow their passion and they live from it? They don't have any more other jobs. Good, I'm proud of you. Wow. So my next question was supposed to be, who is on the way? And I will reframe it because there are some people who came just to the room. Who here is actually on the way of following your passion? So would love to, but still maybe is in 9 to 5. Raise your hand. Wow, I'm so proud of you. Give yourself a round of applause. Okay, so my speech will be for those who follow their passion wholeheartedly, but I think even more for those who would love to follow their passion. Because what is the difference between someone who follows it so strongly that can live from it, and someone who doesn't yet, who is not yet quite there? What do you think is the difference? You can shout out some hints like why someone is not yet there. So is it 9 to 5, and the other one, owns it, goes for it.
Doubt, fear,
Fear.
self-doubt especially.
Limitations, financial limitations.
Fear of failure.
Uncertainties.
Well
Fear of
done.
uncertainty.
Well done.
What if?
Okay.
Our ego.
As well, yes, this little bugger. Yes, some of these I would say so. Even all of these I would say so. So what is the thing that those who follow their passion till the fullest have?
Charity.
Perseverance.
Belief.
Passion.
Mhm.
Passion.
Well done.
Determination.
Risk takers.
Risk takers as well. So now, let me tell you a little story, not about me yet, but if you want to pee, how motivated you are, especially if you're a woman, to find a restroom. Oh, God! Yes. So if you can't breathe, how motivated you are to get somebody's hands out of your face so you actually can grab this next breath of air. This is the burning desire. And this burning desire has to be the burning desire that comes from your heart, not from your mind. Why is that? Ask me, why is that?
Why is that, Nada?
I love you, by the way. Give yourself a round of applause for being so interactive. Well, our mind is so much weaker than our heart. Do you know that our heart sends electromagnetic fields, and they actually truly affect those around us? And do you know that actually those magnetic fields of the heart are 5,000 times, 5,000 times, 5 and 3 zeros, I learned that, 5,000 times stronger than the mind. This is why when we feel that something happens and we don't have control over it, it actually happens. Because we create it out of our heart. So when you follow your real passion, when you follow not the passion that you think, this is good, this will make me money. Nah, that comes from here. But if you follow the passion that you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm not going to do anything else. I just can't believe, I just can't imagine any other life than following my passion. So, the next part of our subject is nailing a perfect pitch. And you're thinking, yeah, English is not my mother tongue, so bear with me. And yes, so nailing a perfect pitch. And you're thinking, yeah, following the passion, I got that bit, but then nailing the perfect pitch. I can share with you 2 ways. How can you nail your perfect pitch? The first one, you won't believe, it actually takes, I would say, like 10 seconds. Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just get a bottle of water. And the second one, you liked it, right? Well, I did too. And the second one is even more important for all of those of you who are not singers. Before I share this, let me tell you a little bit of my story. And a little bit of a story of even a better example of a person who was so perseverant that I just looked at her and I was like, oh my Lord. So she didn't have it easy from what I remember. But she was so stubborn, so perseverant in everything that she was doing that I was so shocked looking at her in every stage of her life. I was blessed to see her progress. And you know, she had different degrees, she didn't feel fulfilled, and she got to this great academy in New York, and she really wanted to study there. But the thing that was standing on her way, the only thing, was not that she was not enough, because she actually got accepted. But the only thing was that she couldn't afford it. So she went so far. And I looked at her and I was like, she was so far and she couldn't go there because she couldn't afford it. You know what she did? Totally blew my mind. Her parents maybe didn't have money, but they had love, so they supported her. And I believe that the love was more important because it gave her the strength to carry on. And she said that it's not the lack of money, it's not the lack of resources, it's the lack of resourcefulness. And I looked at it, I was like, well done, girl. She ran. She's from Poland, by the way, as well. I'm from Poland. And she ran a crowdfunding campaign, which in Poland is so rare, it's like newly begging. She didn't care. She had her goal. She had her focus. She didn't know what Pitch Perfect means. She didn't know how to pitch. You know what she came, what was her idea, how to promote the whole campaign, how the world can know about the person, how the world can give her like, well, it was like 40, 100,000, 40000, so a lot of money for the education in New York. And she just started doing Facebook Lives, starting from singing. So I was like, everybody started being grabbed from the way what she was doing, because she was starting from singing, not from asking, but from giving. She started from pure giving. And more important, what happened, what I know that happened, was that 2 years before she had attended a competition that she won money for the leg for her friend's dad. So the owner of the competition, when he heard that she needs money now, he supported her. How great is that? How it all turns around. So it's not about, well, it is, but first of all, it's about discovering and going deep within yourself. Because when you have this burning desire that I told you about at the very beginning, that was something that gave her the drive. And she got there, and she got the money, and she studied, and she graduated. And now she is the international stage screen opera singer and actor, because that's me. I just really want to talk about myself, so I'm like, let's do it like this. But yes, and so this story taught me that I really needed to be creative with my pitch. And when I saw, because I had all of this, and I was like, okay, now the show business is not enough for me. I want to give more. And 2 years ago, I was sitting, as you are sitting, not here, in a different conference. And what happened there, one of the great speakers, Trent Shelton, was speaking. He was losing his voice. And I was crewing, you know? Taking action makes all of the difference. When I saw he was losing the voice, I didn't even think what others will say. I just saw a moment when somebody came on the stage, gave something. I just sensed that moment. I ran on the stage and I told him, drink water. And he looked at me, because who would run to a star on the stage and say something like this? But he was so humble that he listened. And I told him, I will take a break with you, and I will spend with you 10 minutes calming your voice. And you're going to finish your talk, but you need to give me your 10 minutes. He did that. He finished the talk, and you can see his testimony on my Facebook, on my Instagram. It takes action takers. This moment, I realized how little speakers who have so much to give know about the voice, their biggest asset. And I thought, okay, maybe I don't have the whole time in the world, but I can have few mentees every 3 months to help them. So I'm just gonna end with that. If you're serious with what you're doing, I'm not saying work with me, but find yourself someone who can teach you about the voice. And if I resonate with you, inside out presence, how to speak from your heart, then you can find me anywhere, really. Thank you so much, Maggie.
That was amazing, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
when you're bold, when you're passionate, when you have this amazing story inside of you and you bring the strength of your vocal cords out there, that's a perfect pitch. So
Yeah.
another round of applause for Maggie. Our second speaker today is Taruna Umat, and she's amazing. She's a creative consultant, and she's going to give us a very specific example of how you can use creativity in a specific way to craft the perfect pitch. A round of applause.
Lovely gathering here. I'm honored to be in your presence. Before I start off, I just want to know how many of us have been at the receiving end of pitches here. People have pitched to us. And how many of us have been pitching to people? And how many of us have failed once or twice? And how many of us have, gone there? Alright, so more or less all of us know what pitching is, right? Elevator. And I'm going to talk with reference to elevator pitch because there are long form pitches, there is an elevator pitch. But the most important thing is how you break the ice, right? When there's somebody total stranger, you make eye contact, and especially if you're not somebody as charming as a woman, mostly, there are men in this room, so I'll help them out also. So if you're not as charming as a woman, then it gets a little bit more difficult. And how do you break the ice? Well, we'll talk about the woman-oriented front as we go along. So before I get started and I go ahead with my long-form elevator pitch, I'm Taruna Umar. I'm a creative consultant for animation. I started my own company called Morph Information Technologies. I was the CEO. We created the world's first political cartoons. And if you look at it, my long form would be we make the world's first political cartoons within 36 hours. Anybody who knows about animation would know that animation is a time-consuming and a laborious process. It doesn't take just, everybody has watched Shrek, I'm sure, Shrek, Toy Story. So you know that it takes about 4 years to, make a film like that. So when we come up with small animated films of 2 minutes each, and we say that we give it to you from idea to, finished product within like 36 hours, it's like a deal breaker. It's a deal maker, sorry. So what happens? When we go and we talk about our long form presentation, we probably end up saying like a lot of, about how many e-learning modules I've created. I've created 10,000 e-learning modules. I create infographics that, schools and, educational institutions across the world have appreciated and wanted. But you know what? I'm sure most of you have lost me on the second or third line there because I'll tell you why. Nobody's interested. Nobody's interested in anybody else's story, all right? When you're going there to make a pitch, it's not about what I am all about. I am good, I am great, look, I'm this. It's not about that. When you go to make an elevator pitch, or anything about, you go offer a product, a service, or you want somebody to invest in you, what you have to think about is, from that person's perspective, are you about to solve some headache that he has at this moment? The key word is, are you going to solve a issue that is current to that person? Like for example, the person, say, I'll give you an example. Like somebody comes to me right now, okay, I have a 1.5-year-old toddler. Somebody wants to get a job as a nanny with me, all right? All she has to tell me is, ma'am, you go to work, all right? When you come back, your daughter will be all clean, not messy, she would have been eating well, she would be, and somebody who gives me that feeling that, okay, she's going to take my headache, she's going to take it off my shoulders, she's going to take my worries off my shoulders. When I get back, I can just put my bag down and enjoy my daughter. That's what an elevator pitch is all about. Somebody who can make that, spark an interest when somebody's thinking like, is she going to solve a headache for me? In my industry, especially in animation, elevator pitches are industry specific. We have to tailor make it, we have to customize it. In my industry, it's more about, animation is not, it's not a life and death thing, it's not like food, clothing or shelter, right? It's something that is not need based. It's more of, when I want to put my hair down and put my feet up, I want to enjoy something, okay, maybe I'll think about it. But who would spend so many crores on animation, all right? So when it makes it all the more difficult to sell something like animation. So for us, it's more about, I had to, more about visual medium. This is the kind of work we do among all the competitors. So for us, I would just probably go and station myself. Like there was this, we're trying to get through, because animation is mostly thought of as cartoons that are relevant to, kids. And we wanted to change that, and we called CNN, and we thought of anybody who, if you look at the Indian political scenario, it's quite entertaining. Anybody who's not from India would, if you turn on the TV channels, tonight news channels, you would know that there's so much entertainment, action, drama, sex, violence, you name it. Everything is there in the Indian political scenario. We thought we should capitalize on that and animate all our political leaders. So we called CNN and they said, well, we're into serious business and we would not like to consider cartoons, and they hung up on us. So I wanted to go and get in touch with this Indian big media house, India Today Group, and Arun Puri is the chairman of the group, and it was very difficult to get through to him. He has this, he's in this Fort Knox, so you can't reach that. So we figured that he's going to be attending one such event, and he walks out of the room. And there I promptly stationed myself there with my iPad and my work, and everybody's like, trying to gather his attention, and I'm like, busy showing my work, and I'm walking like that. And he looks at me like I'm an idiot. He has a smirk on his face, and he's like, what's she up to? But a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
So he looked, and then he went, and then I managed to grab his attention, and that was my elevator pitch. From my industry, that was industry specific, right? So he then sent his secretaries to say, okay, you want to come over and discuss, and then, so it was a conversation starter. How do you spark interest? That's what matters. So especially in, if you look at, now another thing is about, some people take it to the other level. Like elevator pitch is about bragging, right? You have to be able to brag. That's what you read about when you Google it. You have to be able to say that's one time on your resume, get to be king. All right? But yeah, in a country like India, like there should be a tax on bragging, especially for India. Bragging, you go anywhere. Yeah.
Instead of GST, we should have.
Exactly. Because you go anywhere, everybody wants to brag. They're nobodies. They just want to keep talking about themselves. There's no concept of elevator which is about keeping it short. No. I am me. Look at me. I'm this, I'm that. All right. So, okay. So now, why is it important to keep it short? Because of the fact that we have to empathize with the other person. Nobody has the time. Nobody has the time to listen to your crap. Sorry for that. Nobody has the time. Do I have the time? No, I'm not interested. Are you interested in my story? No. Unless and until at this time you're thinking, say I'm in an elevator right now, I'm thinking busy right now, I have to get out of the elevator. The minute I land on my floor, I probably have to go and fix this completely messed up Excel sheet, okay, which some idiot in my office is working on, and I know it won't be done right, and I'm busy trying to push my way through and go out, and then somebody else comes and says, I'm this, that. It's a total put off. Try to. That's why the term elevator pitches comes in. Keep it short. Keep it simple. Keep it like a power one-liner. Keep it telegrammic. All right. So for me it was like we've gotten 17 awards for our animation political cartoons so far. And these are not just any awards. These are from the Federation of Industries, and these are all massive. sorry, I'm bragging.
Right.
I'm a dead. But okay, so
Keep writing, be paid next
so I would say, okay, you know, I mean, we create animation films within 36 hours, and I've received 17 awards for that, and you know, I'm looking to better it. And the other person will probably say 36 hours animation. Whoever knows about it, you know, will say 36 hours animation, that could get us into the records. I'll say, yeah, sure, done. Should we get talking? You know, spark interest. That's, you know, that's your success. That's where the elevator pitch success is, right? You spark an interest, and that's where it ends. The rest is about, okay, long form stories where you get into business plans, which is again another long story, right? Which is not what we are talking or catering to right here. Another thing is when you get into, see, you have to be shameless, yes, because there's nothing to lose, right? You're getting into an elevator. You're not, you know, you get in. You have how many seconds? We don't have very many floors in India, especially. So unlike in the US where you have about 50 odd floors, you have a time. Here you probably in 3 floors you're done, and then you know what happens. So say for example, you know, when Arun Puri comes and say, okay, I had this childlike crush on this guy, Arun Puri, okay, the chairman of that media group. He's much older. I mean, childlike crush. And it's childlike. So
It's getting recorded. You will send it to him.
no, please don't. So you know what happens when you see somebody, you know, when you see somebody like that, and you, like, you know, there's you see the elevator opens and you see him right there, and then your heart starts racing, or it slows down, or whatever happens, and then, you know, for some time you blank out, and then, you know, you're mustering up courage, you're thinking 100 things, and then by the time you actually, you know, think of, okay, this is how I'm going to start it, ding, and he's out. And you're kicking yourself hard, saying, you know, what was I thinking? You know, I could have used this opportunity. I could have said something. I could have at least had him look at me and smile, and then say, you know, sir, just a minute, my car, or whatever. You know, but that's why it is important to be prepared in an elevator pitch, for an elevator pitch at any given time. We have to be prepared. But the key is also, you know, there's nothing more boring than a very textbookish elevator pitch. You know what I mean? You know, it's like a definition of me. I mean, definitions. How boring can that be? You know, then it has to be very colloquial, all right? It should not be textbookish. It should be, you know, in a way, it has to be prepared in a way, very cleverly, that it looks candid, right? In the sense, like, you know, a lot of people keep talking about, you know, we get into an elevator, how do we break the ice? You don't have enough time. You get in, you see this guy, you don't know how to break the ice, you don't know what to say, drop something on his foot. It's okay. You have invoked an emotion, right? I mean, I'm telling you ways how to be creative. Right? Right? Don't you think so? Because we don't have enough time here in India. And Indians are clumsy. Let's face it, you all secretly know it and believe it. We Indians are clumsy. You know, when I was in the US, I used to walk on the, you know, I don't even know which side was it. On the other side, you know, you're not supposed to walk. You know, and I used to be bumping into people, and I used to be so awkward. Okay, but in India it's common. So you drop something, and then you say, oh, I'm so sorry. Better still, make them drop something. And then say, oh, I'm so sorry. And then you say, it's alright, no problem. Or, you know, like say, I would probably drop something and say, I'm in such a mad rush, I'm just going to collect my 15th award. And you know, that guy would be so, you know, he would have to ask, wouldn't it be rude? You know, I'm going to collect my 15th award. Imagine if the other guy doesn't show you any interest and he's such a boredom, just leave him, please. Don't even pursue him. You know, but if he asks, you know, really, 15th award, that's nice. That's great. You know, even if you have just sparked an interest. You know, then you probably can say this is about, you know, we create the shortest, you know, duration animation film. So whatever, you know, you can break the ice. So you have to be creative, and candid is important. And what else is important is that you always remember that it's not necessarily in the elevator.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it could be as you know, I mean, I don't know about you know, generally, I mean, forget about the fact that generally the gender, you know, you have separate loos for everybody. Not always. So you know, catch them in the loo. Trust me, when their guards are down. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? When their guards are down, and you know, everybody's, you know, I mean, you smile at them, they smile back. Nobody's stiff upper lipish in the loo, right? So you catch them there, and then you know, bring up something. The important thing is to just reach that thin layer, just bridge it, and then you know, then go for the kill. There are sharks out there. You have to come up with innovative ways of sparking interest in your product, and then the rest is, if your product is not good, you're not getting anywhere. I mean, there's no big history or science about it, right? We all know that. So, but if you're good and you want to get there, then you have to come up with very innovative ways, because it's so cliche to follow the, you know, right now if somebody can Google elevator pitches, you will have, you know, a set pattern of do this. It's so robotic and monotonous, it's so boring. God, I could not share on that. No. We've got to come up with creative and innovative ways of pitching, make it interesting, make it humorous, have people connect with you on an emotional level in any way. Make them awkward, you get awkward, whatever. Alright? But go for the kill. Okay guys, I hope I made some sense. If there are any queries, anybody here has a good elevator pitch to share?
You share us your best one. Yeah.
The best one that I see, my product was damn good. So it is, you know, we got, okay, see, we got 1 million YouTube subscribers in 15 days.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, nobody can even come close to that, right? Wow. Sorry, I'm bragging again, but it's true, you know.
That's a perfect elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you know, I just say that, and then you say I've been recognized by, you know, international agencies for making these animation films. So that's what it is. Tell me somebody who's been trying to come. Sorry,
Come here.
time. Okay, sorry. Sorry. So yeah, please take it up. Our slide.
Hey, can we close the door, please, because it's getting very loud in here.
Yeah. Close the door.
So now you know what a perfect elevator pitch is, right? It's supposed to be candid, it's supposed to be short, it's shameless bragging, without bragging, and you use it everywhere, in an elevator, in a bus, or wherever you go. So another applause for John. Great. Looking at time a little bit, is it okay if you give me 10 minutes, 15 max? Yeah? Okay. Because nobody here is supposed to finish already now.
I'm
but
sorry.
The session before went over. Is it okay?
Yes.
Everyone that needs to sneak out, but I hope I'm going to give you enough reason not to want to sneak out. Great. So, Taruna already asked you, all of you were in a situation where you asked for support or help or money and you got a straight out no. Yes?
Yes.
Right. So, the next 10-15 minutes I would love to use to give you a very practical, very hands-on, step-by-step formula on how you can convince anyone of everything almost every time. How many of you want that?
Yes.
Great, okay. It's going to be a little bit longer than an elevator pitch. It's a sales pitch, but once you nail your sales pitch, you can turn it and contract it into a powerful elevator pitch too. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Good. So I would love for you to all to think along while I map out the steps. Okay? Because I want you to go out there and pitch right away after this event.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay. Good. So what you do is, before you even start working on your pitch at all, you do one thing. And you probably hear that a lot. A lot of people here speak about intention. You need to know, even for your speeches, You're all giving speeches over the next couple of days?
Yes.
Yes.
The first question you want to ask yourself before you even craft a speech or a pitch is, why do I want to do it? Why do I want to speak, or why do I want to pitch? Why do I want it for myself? And why do I want it for my audience? Okay? I'd like you all to just for a few seconds now think about what is your next pitch situation or your next speech. And ask yourself, why do you want to give that speech or that pitch? Is it because you want more people to go to your website, or is it because you want them to connect with you on Facebook, or is it because you want them to buy a product, or is it because whatever it is for you. But equally important is, ask yourself, why do you want it for them? Why should they want to listen? What do you want them to walk away with? What insights, information, inspiration, what do you want them to take away from your speech or pitch? You have that? Because only when you know that, you can make your time as a speaker or in a pitch worthwhile. Because if you don't know what you want, you will not get it. But if you do know what you want and why you want it for yourself and them, you can craft your speech or pitch exactly based on reaching that. Sounds good?
Yeah.
This is crucial and important. So really, from now on, every time you give a speech or a pitch, start with this question. Why? For yourself and for them. And now here comes the formula, and I really squeeze it into just a few minutes. So the first thing is, what do you say first when you stand on a stage or you give a pitch? And I have actually worked with a lot of entrepreneurs that pitch to investors, that pitch to gain clients and everything else all over the globe. So what do you say when you step up on stage or you give a pitch to someone? What do you say?
Welcome.
Welcome. What else?
Icebreaker.
Namaste.
Namaste. Beautiful. What
My
else?
name, your name,
Your name,
your product.
your product. And that's exactly, sorry to say, how you're not going to start. You know why? Because that is how everyone starts. And I've worked with startups on investor pitches, and 50 people pitching in a room full of investors, and they all start this way, and that means they don't stand out. And you know what? How many of you have watched a video more than once, or a film more than once? All of us? Yeah? Okay. So this means, you know, or even, you know, we watch a movie and we watch it again, and we watch another movie, another third movie, and then at the end, we don't even know what was in the first one anymore. Yes? That is what you don't want. You want to stand out. On the WF stage, there's 10 speakers sometimes at the same time, right? You want to stand out in the first moment. And how do you do that? You don't say your name. Taruna said it. People don't care about us or what we do or all the amazing things we've achieved. Who do they care about? Themselves. And how do you build that bridge between you and them? You can, for example, ask a question. When you ask a question, you get to know them. They start thinking about themselves. They start thinking about your topic and everything else. Yes? Okay? Or you tell a little story, like these beautiful ladies did. Okay? You tell a little story and people recognize themselves in your story. So from now on, please, wherever you go, you pitch or you speak, don't start with saying your name. It's already there anyhow. You can point it out if you want to, but then start with something that intrigues your audience. Yes?
Sorry, there was this guy, I remember this, I was trying to hire a sales guy in the office, and all of them were the same, you're right, all of them say the same thing.
Yes.
And there's this guy whom I hired finally, and you know what he said to me? He said, I sell to people who've already said no.
Okay.
And I said, it intrigued me. He said, I sell to people who've already said no. So if you have a whole, group of people who already refused your product, send me them. And I was like intrigued. Go ahead and do this. So sorry, I just, ran back to that.
Beautiful, thank you for sharing that. So this is exactly, the moment you step in, even if you had a no, the moment you step in and you say it in a different way, you might eventually walk out with a yes, right? But how you start is important. The second thing is, at some point you need to introduce yourself, right? People want to know, who are you? But you don't do it in a bragging way. You don't do it as if you're applying for a job, stating all your CV points, right? What do? You rather say more about why do you care? Because Sue, if you were telling me that you help people become the greatest versions of themselves, and you tell me that you have been there at the bottom, thank you for sharing your story earlier, you know, and you found a way out of it, then I believe you can help me too. And I know that you will care so much more than anyone else that's been a coach out there that tells me how to become that if they haven't been in it, right? So tell them what you do and why you do it, but tell me more about why do you care, right? And then, once you have your introduction, you tell them who you are. What do you talk about next in your pitch?
I can share that.
How you're doing this? That is
What's in it for them?
Almost. Why you're doing it, what's in it for them. A lot of people go to, and this is what I offer. And here's one thing, if you take from my 10-15 minutes away, only this one thing, oh no, that wasn't 10 minutes. Okay, good. Give us another 5, okay? So, the golden nugget is that I want you to take away from this is, first, you sell the problem before you sell the solution. Okay? I invite you all to write that down. First you sell the problem and then you sell the solution. What do I mean by that? How many people here in the room are consultants? Some consultants? Yes? You've been in a situation where you go to your client and you know exactly what you can do for them and you tell them what you can do for them and what difference it will make and what's in it for them. And they still say, no, not interested. Right? Because they haven't seen why they should hire you in the first place. They don't have any problem. They don't feel any pain. So what you need to do first is you need to make them see why they would want to work with you. It's like you're the world's best dentist and you say, will you come and get your teeth checked with me? But I don't have tooth pain. I'd say, why should I? Right? But if you then show me that if I don't get my teeth checked, very soon I'm going to run into issues because toothbrush is not enough. And by the way, a lot of people, you know, in average, people live 5 years less when they're not getting their teeth checked on a regular basis. Then you create that urge and that need inside of me to say, I need you. And then I start listening to, you are the world's best dentist. You hear me? So first sell the problem, because if you want to sell me a car but I just bought a new car, I don't care if you have best Tesla in the world. I'm not listening. So you need to tell me first why I should listen. Yes? And then 3 very quick hints on, once you start presenting your solution and what's in it for them. 3 quick things. The first one is, watch your language. So many speakers here are talking in a very abstract language. It sounds like, I hear it's ringing all the time. Can you put it down for a moment? And then ring again in 5 minutes? Thank you. Okay, because if it's ringing all the time, you think like, ooh, I need to run. I don't want to run, I want to give you the greatest value possible. So, and that will be short, as Tarina said. So, a lot of people speak in a way that it sounds like, if you are a marketing director, you say to people, look, we should increase our marketing campaign synergies to increase the return on investment of our marketing spendings. Right? That's how most people speak. But we don't get what they're saying. What you should say instead is, speak concrete language that creates pictures in my mind. It's when you say something like, you know what, let's partner with that marketing agency. So we cut our marketing budget in half and we reach 10 times more people. Yes? That is what people can grasp. When we speak about children or trees or beaches, that creates pictures in our minds. Right? Okay? So that's what you want to keep in mind, language. The second thing is, don't tell them what you do, tell them why you do it. Don't tell them what you do, but why you do it. I'm not saying to people, I am giving speaking trainings. What I do is I say, we work together, you'll be sparkling on stage no matter if you speak to 5 or 5,000 people. You see the difference? People say, sign up for my training, we're going to do this, and that time. I don't care. What I care about is what's in it for me. How is the end result? Yes? And the third thing is, don't get them to the process, get them to the end of it. If you are a travel agency, you don't tell it to your clients, look, you know what, sign up to a trip to Jamaica with us. You're going to be in a cramped seat on an airplane seat, and you're going to eat shitty food, and you're going to queue for a taxi, and you queue again at the hotel to check in. No, what you do is you show them how you lay on the beach. Yes? Become a travel agency speaker. Yes? So when you present what you do, watch your language. Help people to see pictures and feel emotions based on the pictures you make them see. Secondly, don't tell them the what, tell them the why, and how their world and their life is going to look like once they work with you. And third, make sure you get them to the end result of what you want them to achieve. And then here's one thing of how I would like to line it off to what I said at the beginning. A lot of people pitch, but then I don't even know, what do they want? How can I support them with their project? Yes? How many of you run projects or businesses that are close to your heart? Yes, all of you, that's probably why you're here. So, what I invite you to do is, while you're going out there over the next couple of days, when you speak to people one-on-one, or you're on stage, share with us what you need. Because then we know we can help you. You hear me? Do that yourself that favor. Tell people what you need. Say, right now, to bring this to the next level, we need money. We need partners, but be concrete on what partners you're looking for. We need whatever you need, but share it with the world. So always when you speak or when you pitch, end with what we call the call to action. Yes? We are all here coming together because we want to uplift our projects. We want to make a bigger difference in the world. Yes? Meaning that all of us have a need. We cannot do it alone. We need others to support us. So do yourself a favor and tell us, what problem are you solving for him? How you're doing it and how you're different and how the world looks like when you've done your job and achieved your mission. And then tell us what you need along the way, so we can help you make it happen. Okay? If you pitch like that, from now on, I tell you, no matter where you go, no matter who you speak with, just one more sentence, you will convince anyone of anything almost every time. And I know I had to rush because we love timing, right? I do have a pitching checklist. I'm happy to send that to you. That again outlines everything I spoke about and much more about that you can use from now on to prepare your speeches and your pitches. So please give me your business card or give me a paper with your name and phone number, and I'm happy to send it to you. Yes? So thank you all. Everyone, can we take a quick picture outside so the next session can start, but we can still take a picture with each other?
I'm speaking tomorrow. 4, 6.